News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome to News 46's Week in Review, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Nye County Emergency Services and the Sheriff's Office destroyed a large amount of marijuana that has been confiscated in local busts recently. We're here at Nye County Emergency Services, where this morning we met with Sheriff Tony DeMeo and Assistant Sheriff Rick Marshall and part of the hazmat team to dispose of marijuana as well as prescription medications. We're going to speak to the sheriff and assistant sheriff right now.
Well, this morning we were actually getting ready to destroy about 300 pounds of marijuana and prescription drugs. These are the marijuana from the recent arrests and the grow houses that we hit. And prescription drugs is part of our 24/7 program of collecting prescription drugs from within Pahrump Valley and rest of Nye County and destroying it rather than getting out in the street or into the septic systems, which poison our well water. So it's a program we've been doing now for about, 2.5 years? And yeah, 2.5 years. And we destroy pretty much, conservatively speaking, over probably about 2 million doses. That's just conservatively speaking. We usually get sometimes one of the drug people turn in drugs. One of the things that come to mind is we had 2 33-gallon garbage cans full of prescription drugs from one house.
Wow. This is a great program, and it can get in the groundwater, can't it?
If it is destroyed and people flush them down their toilets and things like that, yes, it can. They have a place out at the Pahrump Valley disposal at the dump that's set aside for disposing these types of medications. And how do we go about the disposal?
We collect it. We destroy the doses can't be used. We put it in a mix that allows us to then dispose of it in that area of the dump, which is reserved pretty much for hazmat. And, low-level hazmat, not hazmat material you think about as a lot of the poisons and stuff, but household hazards.
The regular citizens in town can call up and have you pick up their prescription medications, or they can drop them off at the sheriff's office and have them properly disposed of?
That's correct. It's a program that Sheriff DeMeo started, as he said, about 2.5 years ago. We call it Operation Medicine Cabinet. Sometimes you have ones that are just expired, you forgot about, or you're healed and you don't need them anymore, or they're your children's medications and you want to dispose of them. So we have that ability to do so.
And with the marijuana that we're disposing of, how are we doing that today?
It's being burnt. We take it down to the dump, and we put it in a pit, and it's burnt. The only way we can actually get rid of it, we have to get rid of it because we've been collecting so much of it that it's overwhelming the evidence, our evidence storage. But this is it was originally 400 pounds. By the time we dried it and everything, it came down to about 300 pounds. And it is something we've been doing. This is, I think, within the last month, probably about the 4th to 5th time we've actually been destroying marijuana.
And part 2 with Nye County Emergency Services and the Sheriff's Office regarding those busts. With all the recent marijuana busts, there's been an accumulation of marijuana. We went with Nye County Emergency Services Hazmat and Nye County Sheriff's Office Custody Unit to Pahrump Valley Disposal this morning. You can see right behind me is 300 pounds of marijuana and prescription drugs being disposed of. About the drug busts in general, are we actually targeting these, or are these just coincidences that we're finding so many of these right now?
Well, first of all, the task force, Nye County Sheriff's Office, always targeted to illegal drug abuse and those people that want to traffic in that particular trade. With the recent grow houses, a lot of people have been bringing these to our attention. A lot of investigations we've been doing come to a culmination, where we've targeted these areas and these particular properties and developing probable cause. We can get the warrant and go in and do the warrant search to do the seizure and make the arrest. So there's a lot of work that's involved, and sometimes we just It just comes our way during a routine call for service. A deputy might observe something that's suspicious. The deputy starts investigating that, gives that information to Street Crime Narcotics, and then of course we start doing our investigation, and we make the arrests and we seize the drugs when possible.
And as far as any other type of drugs, how do we dispose of, like, we bring in hazmat for meth houses, right?
Yes, we do. The hazardous materials teams assist us in cleaning up and sanitizing any of the operations that we do that involve use of narcotics, because narcotics are hazardous materials.
And who do we have to thank for all of this, actually? I know hazmat is part of it, and the Scorpion Task Force.
Well, it's the partnership we have with the county emergency services. They're the ones that assist us in our mitigation of these drug houses and these grow houses and whatever drug labs we come across. And the partnership between the county entities to actually go out there and make our community safer. And it's drug abuse, and we have to remove this blight from our community and from the rest of our, and of course making sure that our citizens don't get exposed to this, especially the kids.
Once again, we want to thank the Nye County Sheriff's Office and Hazmat for inviting us along for this. If you would like to find out more about the Medicine Cabinet program, you can call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A family of 5 has been displaced following a structure fire last Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, a fully engulfed structure fire here off Jean and Money Streets. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies. We're going to speak to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
Dispatch for a structure fire. It was a short distance from my residence. I was on location within a couple of minutes and found a well-involved detached garage. It was almost a 2-story garage. It was what I would call a half and half. Well involved in the fire. We had a vehicle immediate exposure as well as a single wider used apparently for the primary residence. We're fighting 12 to 15 mile an hour winds this afternoon. The intensity of the original fire took the fire right to the exposures. Crews came in, went to a defensive exterior attack. Large amounts of water, short period of time, knocked the bulk of the fire down. As you can see, we got the primary structure, but there is some heavy fire damage right in the middle.
Do we know what kind of materials or chemicals that we're dealing with that were in the first structure that caught fire?
Not a full understanding. The residents were not at home. My understanding is they were out of town. They were on their way back. So none of the immediate neighbors knew exactly, but we did have vessels going off during the course of the suppression. We can assume there was some propane. We heard some whistling sounds that are typical of a propane type related fuel. Right now, it's just a matter the dogs have all been taken care of. Animal control is helping us with some residual animals in the back, some of the chickens and such. So overall, a pretty successful day considering the conditions.
They also had a vehicle that went up, but they also had some debris right behind the actual first structure.
There was a lot of debris, personal property located around the primary structure that was well involved in fire, so that quickly became involved itself. And then again, being wind-fed, you can see how quickly it went because it's a wind out of the west today, which puts that structure directly to the west of the other 2 exposures.
Exactly. Valley Electric arrived on scene. We had a down power line that was actually still hot.
Yeah, Valley Electric, we summoned them in the very early stages of the fire. Valley Electric arrived on location. They confirmed our findings that there was a down power line on the other side of the primary structure. They're in the process of taking care of that. We notified the fire ground, so everyone was aware that was a safety issue and the perimeter was set around it. So now it's a matter of mopping up and commencing an investigative phase.
We called the state fire marshal in for this. Do we have a reason why we did that?
Considering the extended damage and the amount of fire we had on arrival shortly after our notification, we want to make sure we cover all bases.
And once again, if you would like to help this family out in any way, there's collections being put together. You can give KPVM a call at 727-9400 or go on Positive Pahrump's Facebook. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. What was thought to be a non-injury accident turned into an emergency at Cowbata and Dandelion last Monday night as officers requested that medics respond to a man who wasn't sure if he was injured. Around 8:30 last night, a 2-vehicle accident at Cowbata and Dandelion prompted Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's deputies to the scene of what was originally thought to be a non-injury accident. After further investigation, deputies were alerted to the fact that the man inside the minivan had been previously paralyzed. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were dispatched back to the scene to check out the man to see if he sustained any injuries in this accident. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Calvada and Dandelion for News 46. The Nye County Sheriff's Department has arrested one local man for allegedly growing marijuana at his residence. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued an official press release. Nye County General Assignment detectives, accompanied by Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, responded to 1261 North Rockefeller to conduct an investigation, which included information referenced a possible suspicious person or vehicle in the area. During this investigation, it was discovered that Richard Francis Hamilton, age 53, of Pahrump, resided at that address. In plain view, Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives and deputies observed a marijuana plant growing outside of the residence. A subsequent search of the property revealed that there were 77 plants at various stages of growth on the property. These plants range from being very small to being over 4 feet in height. Some of these plants were planted in the ground and others were planted in pots. Also on the property was located several firearms. Due to Hamilton's use of marijuana, he is prohibited by NRS from being in possession of a firearm. The scene was processed, and Nye County Emergency Services Hazmat assisted the scene with the cleanup in relation to the material used for growing the marijuana. The 77 plants of marijuana weighed approximately 52 pounds. The street value is approximately $200,000. Richard Francis Hamilton was arrested and is booked into the Nye County Detention Center on the following charges: maintain a place to give, sell, or use a controlled substance, possession of marijuana with intent to sell, prohibited person in possession of a firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. We continue our conversation with a former employee who worked at Amerigas here in Pahrump before the explosion on August 16th. Gene Side speaks to us about his concerns for the safety of the community and Amerigas employees. The people that work there, are they employees of Amerigas?
No, they're employed by pace setters. There's only a couple people that are actually Amerigas employees.
You were just so close to becoming an Amerigas employee, and that means benefits and more money. What happened with that?
Well, after first I was told I was going to get it, and I spent a couple months keep checking, well, when's it coming, when's it coming? I'd hear, well, I'm working on it, it'll be by the end of the week, end of the month. Finally, I got tired of it, and I went to corporate and told them what's going on. Corporate sent Doug Trappy down, and they said, well, we were going to make you Amerigas, going to make a couple of the other guys Amerigas. And they sent us to do a physical, and that dragged on for a month. And we took our finally got to take our drug test, and then another month goes by, and, well, we lost the physical, and then, well, the drug test expired, now you got to go take another drug test, and then, well, we can't find it, I don't know where it is, and it dragged on for 4 months. Yeah. Finally, it was, well, we're going to make it happen on around the 1st of July, the first pay period in July. And just a few days before then, I came in, and I was told that I had been gone the day before because of a medical issue, and the week prior to that, and Mike wanted paperwork from the doctor. Told me not to come back till I get it, so I left. I went, got the paperwork from the doctor, came back the next morning, walked in, handed him the paperwork, and he says, well, we decided to end your assignment. I said, oh, I got the paperwork right here. He didn't even want to see it.
Oh, really?
I asked him why. He said, I don't owe you an explanation. Oh. And my belief, everybody else that knows it, was I was quite outspoken about the problems there, and it caused a rift. It was, they want to keep it quiet. They don't want, I've talked to a couple people, and they said they can't talk about it. So
is there any other safety concerns or situations that you've had that you would like us to know about?
Between the way they don't check it, we run tanks through that don't have the gas out of them. I mean, the fatigue that you run through, and I mean, it's repetitive. I mean, 14 hours a day, the exact same, where it's tearing muscles. I mean, people are just ready to drop, and it's hot in that building when you're putting,
you got all the heat that's outside, plus you got those heat lamps.
Yes.
It's intense heat.
Yeah, it's quite hot in there. And they don't check the things properly. When they fill them, they're not checked properly when they go on the truck. And it's not the guys that are doing it. Yeah. They're doing their job as best as they as they can, but their hands are tied.
Yeah.
You know, the company wants just push, get it out as fast as we can.
More with Gene Sides in the final part of our series with the former employee who worked at Amerigas. You have quite an amazing resume of places that you've worked, and you told me in the beginning that you've never seen anything like this. Tell me what you said.
I've worked in some big corporate machining deals and other places. I've never in my life seen anyone that covered up or tried to blow off safety issues the way that Amerigas does. It doesn't even faze them. It's just, you know, their body's there, something happens, we can get more bodies. It's pretty much the feeling they have there.
Do you think that the town is in danger and local residents are in danger with that facility?
Yes, I do. I think the way they do things, something was going to happen there. I'm surprised that fire wasn't worse than it was.
Were you shocked about that?
Honestly, no. I mean, it was just working there and seeing day to day how things happen. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a matter of time before something happens.
Something really big, even bigger than this, because there's fires there all the time that we're not even being told about.
Yeah, when we have fires come through on the line, mm-hmm. and I'm surprised it wasn't bigger than what it is. Wow. And I'm surprised that more people didn't get hurt, to tell you the truth. They just don't have any care whatsoever about safety issues. They put me, when they came down and said they were making me quit Amerigas, they made a big deal, made me and a couple other guys safety mm-hmm. people. Mm-hmm. And it was, we were going to have a meeting once a week, tell us all the stuff, write it down. Yeah. We've had notebooks written down. Never once. Mike was supposed to come get us, sit down, yeah. You know, not once since they made that meeting did we ever.
Never had a safety meeting.
We never sat down with the safety people. They never sat down and talked to them. Safety people have talked to Mike about problems.
And this goes all the way up to corporate. You've complained. You've let them know. You've constantly been in contact with them.
From Mike Dawson there at the plant to Doug Trappy, who's in charge of the region, to Bo Cornell, to the corporate HR. And they give you a hush-hush. I firmly believe the only reason they were going to make me Amerigas was to keep my mouth shut. Wow. Pretty much. And it was just a hustle. Last I talked to the other two guys that are there that are supposed to be Amerigas, they've blown them off too with the same thing. It's just, you know, keep your mouth shut. I hope somebody really looks into them and really sees what they're doing there and gets somebody in there that'll actually take control of the place. I mean, we're dealing with a lot of flammable liquids that, you know, it could be a big problem. And somebody really needs to get in there that can really take control of it and really cares about the safety of it and not how many tanks we get out.
Still more local news to come when News 46 returns.
Pahrumph's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Alarm clocks were ringing first thing this past Monday morning, and those familiar yellow buses are on the road again as students with the Nye County School District went back to school.
Well, you know, these little kids, man, they're here and they're coming off the bus excited. It's a great day.
This is so much to look forward to for this school year. You're the new principal here. Tell everybody about that.
Well, I've been in Pahrump for about 22 years and moved down to elementary this year. And these little kids, I love middle school, but these little kids, man, they're just awesome. They're loving and they're full of joy the first day, so it's great.
And J.G. Johnson, what a great school.
Oh, you know, Mr. Norton left the school in good condition, and, you know, these teachers are great. It's a veteran staff, so it's a good place to step into.
What's some of the things that we're looking forward to for this next school year?
Well, you know, we have what's called Common Core and, you know, just the grades being moved up, and we're going to make AYP, and, you know, the school district has done a lot of great things for this school, and new air conditioning, new gym. You'll have to come in there and look at it, and so we're excited.
Wonderful. And tell me kind of some of the preparation getting ready for today.
Well, everything's been really set for last week. Our teachers have been in almost for about 2 weeks now on their own time and put in a lot of extra time, so the school is like in perfect condition. So, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the day with these little kids. It's awesome.
Nye County School Superintendent Dr. Rob Roberts is postponing his retirement for one more year after the school board were unable to successfully hire a suitable predecessor. He opted to stay until they could replace the longest serving superintendent in the state.
I am Deanna. This will be an even decade as superintendent of Nye County School District. At the present time, I'm the third longest serving superintendent in the history of Nevada. And usually superintendents last about 3 years, and so I've tripled that staying rate, and I very much love the community. I have a home here. I've had it for a long time, and I've lived in Nevada for 20 years, and I'm from Florida, and talking with my family back there, they complain to me about, it's so hot in southern Nevada, and I said, I haven't seen one hurricane hit Pahrump yet, and so I'm very, very happy.
So is there an option to renew after this year?
My contract is at the pleasure of the board, but I have elected to retire, and I would have retired, but they couldn't find a suitable replacement, if you will. If they continue not to find a replacement, I will stay as long as needed. We had the opportunity of hiring some very good principals this summer. We got through the reductions in force. I put in place the new assistant superintendent, and we have all cylinders are firing. We're ready to go, and it's going to be a real good year for us.
After the closure of Mount Charleston Elementary School just a couple of months ago, the principal of the school, Tim Wambaker, had to switch gears. Now he's the principal at Rosemary Clark Middle School, and he's looking forward to an exciting change.
Very excited, first of all. We had our first staff meeting today, met a lot of new people because with all the bumps and cuts, we had a whole list of people that were new or in new positions, so we're excited to get the new year started, and we have another short meeting tomorrow, so Monday we'll be ready to go.
And any changes in that we're anticipating for the next school year as far as the students that are continuing at Rosemary Clark Middle School?
Not too many changes. We lost quite a few teachers, so the biggest change is going to be the increase in class sizes, and that's difficult, but we came up with some different plans to try and lower the class sizes, and we'll see how that goes. We never know from day one because there's still some kids who haven't enrolled, there's kids that have moved, so tonight we're having our orientation, and we're just trying to get all the information we can, and hopefully we'll know our numbers soon, and we'll adjust to that.
And some of the kids that were at Mount Charleston and who were anticipating and looking forward to seeing you there at Rosemary Clark Middle School, they already know you, so you're going to kind of have a chance to introduce yourself to some who haven't met you.
We do a little bit of a change in the not the philosophy, but the approach from the elementary to the middle school. I'm very fortunate I have two new administrators. Laura Weir's one of my assistant principals. She's going to be the 6th grade principal, and she came with me from Mount Charleston, so she was my assistant principal at Mount Charleston, so the kids are familiar with her there. And Kyle Lindberg's the 8th grade principal, assistant principal, and he taught 7th grade last year, so he's familiar with all those kids that moved up from 7th grade. So hopefully the kids are excited to see me. We have high expectations for the students and their achievement. We need to bring our test scores up. Unfortunately, we're on needs improvement year 6, but we have a lot of positive things to look forward to and a great staff to get there.
And we're hoping to get past that right now. Tell me some of the things that you personally might have prepared for going from Mount Charleston to Rosemary Clark.
Just the adjustment of the approach with kids, because you have the difference obviously with kindergarten to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I'm going to handle it the same way where we have the high expectations. I'm going to communicate well with the kids and the parents. Communication's a key. If everybody knows what's going on and everybody's accountable, then we're going to get where we need to go. But communication, accountability, responsibility, and expectations, that we're going to have all of that. We're going to care, if you will, the C-A-R-E.
There you go. Anything you'd like to say to the kids for the upcoming school year?
We're swimming to the top. That's our new motto this year, so welcome to Rosemary Clark Middle School. We look forward to having you.
A transformer blew last week at the New Man's Elementary School on the north of town. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Valley Electric. The transformer temporarily caught fire and was leaking fluid. The students were released from school for the day while Valley Electric replaced the transformer. Senior Nye County is hosting their 2nd annual sock hop at the Pahrump Nugget.
Do on September the 10th at the Pahrump Nugget from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And the Nye County Starlets are sponsoring for it's to raise donation funds for Miss Senior Nye County for next year.
This was just sold out last year. I mean, just so many people came. It was so much fun. The theme of it is so much fun. This is the second year?
This is our second year. We're at the second anniversary for it. And what we're going to do it slightly different this year, is we're going to go from the 40s, 50s and 60s. Oh, wow. So you can dress in the 40s if you like, and you can dress in the poodle skirts for the sock hop, or combine it so that we can get, make it more fun. And we're going to have 50-50 drawing and silent auction, and also we'll have snacks and an open, a no-host bar, and there'll be snacks and things there.
When is this going to be?
September 10th, 6 o'clock at the Pahrump Nugget.
Do you need to get tickets ahead of time?
Yeah, you'll get them if anybody wants to call me, or you'll get them from any of the starlets that are the pageant contestants, and the Queen, or will all be around, and my number is 727-0309.
And how much are the tickets?
For a couple, it's $20, and for a single, it's $12.
And you can buy them at the door?
Yeah, we probably have some at the door, but we want to try and sell as much, because of the capacity,
A ribbon cutting for a new business here in town. We introduce you to Christian and Aaron Fensel from Stockpile Defense.
Thank you all for coming out here. I'm with Aaron and Kristen Fensel. They are the new owners of Stockpile Defense. They ammo and accessories. Thank you. There's the word I'm looking for. They're the new owners here and one of our newest chamber members. We're glad to see businesses opening in Pahrump left and right. It's a great thing for you. Notice with our down economy, which is coming up, that a lot of people reached out for their own businesses, and they're employing people here in our town. So we please ask the public out there to come get their ammo here, get their accessories here. Don't go to Vegas. Keep the money here in Pahrump. And at this time, officially, we will cut the ribbon.
Excellent. You want the bottom?
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Chamber of Commerce out here, along with some supporters and friends that we've made so far, helping us with the grand opening and getting things on our way.
What do we specialize in here at Stockpile Defense?
Stockpiling ammo. That's our bread and butter. Realize that it was a little hard to get here, so we're doing all that we can to ease that up a little bit. We do have some accessories, no firearms at this time, but if you need some ammo, and a lot of it, and we just so happen to be where you need to be.
So tell me why you guys chose the ammo store with a little history of yourselves.
We actually moved down here from Salt Lake City. We're belong to Frontsite, and we're a couple members there. And as we were out here, realized it was a little tough to get the products that we needed. So we were originally thinking about opening up this store in the Salt Lake area, but it wasn't viable up there. Down here gave us much better opportunity and a very warm welcome as we made our way about. And it's just been a great experience from the time we signed up with all of our paperwork till this grand opening today and the ribbon cutting.
And that's one of the things that Michael Selbach was saying, is that don't go in Vegas. Now we actually have this ammo store here. Are we going to be expanding?
Well, with any luck, yes. Actually, whatever the public wants is sort of what we're going to give them. We took a shot in the dark as what most people are going to be using and shooting, and we have lots of that. Whatever the public wants, if there's something that we don't carry that enough people want, we'll get it in, and we'll get it in a hurry. So we're fed off of them, and we're do all that we can to make sure that they're happy. So
not only that, but we offer great products at as good of a price as we can. Metal, silver, all that is going up, but we are gun enthusiasts. We stand by the Second Amendment, and we are proud to do what we do, and we love doing it. So
wonderful. Where are we located?
The address is 3190 South Highway 160, Suite E, and it's in the Meadows Bank Shopping Complex.
And do we have a website?
Yes, it is stockpiledefense.com.
And can people order online as well?
They can order online. They can order online and they can come by and pick it up at the store, or they can just swing by. We have varying hours, anywhere between 6 a.m. openings to 8 p.m. closings. So it varies a little bit different today, but we're open 7 days a week as of right now.
And so if people want to give you a call, what's the number?
That'll be 775-751-2163.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on the ribbon cutting.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
More with News 46's News in Review. Stay tuned.
Pahrumph's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
And welcome back. An assessment has been ordered for the town of Pahrump. The Nevada Rural Development Council will be holding a community assessment. We're going to speak to Carl Delane.
Well, we're going to be out here the week of October 10 through 13, and what we will do is hold a series of listening sessions with community members. The whole idea is to hear from a whole variety of people in the community, and as we record their answers and look at their answers, certain themes are going to rise to the surface, and as we recognize those themes, we will reflect those back to the community, say, here are your concerns, here are your issues, here's what you would like to see accomplished in your community. Then we will go back and write a report on that, and that report then will include an analysis of each theme, include some recommendations on how you might address those themes, and some resources to help carry out the recommendations. And as we do that, then the report becomes a tool that can be used by the community to look at planning for the future and where do we go from here.
And there's 3 main questions that you're asking community members, not only leaders in the community, but just regular citizens.
That's right, and we want to hear from as many different people as we can. We ask 3 questions. What are the greatest challenges or problems in your community? What are the greatest strengths or assets in your community? And what projects or initiatives would you like to see accomplished in the short term? I see that as about 24 months, or in the long term, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years from now. What would you like to see in this community?
Can a regular person get involved in this? Just a regular citizen? Can they call you and volunteer to answer these questions?
There are a couple of ways. One is that we are going to be holding these listening sessions, and at least 2 of them will be general public. Anyone is invited to any listening session that's available, with the exception that we are hoping to go out to the high school and the middle school, and clearly because there are kids involved, it can't be open to just anybody to be there. But the other sessions are open. We will be asking those same 3 questions no matter what group we're asking those questions of. We'll be recording all of their answers, and we'll be then reporting that back. Secondly, the town will be putting those questions up on their website, and people can answer them by email, and that's another way for people to participate. But by coming down and being part of the listening session, it gives you the opportunity to hear what other people are saying at the same time.
Is this the first time Pahrump has ever done this?
It's the first time this particular kind of assessment's been done in Pahrump. We have done 10 of these throughout rural Nevada in the last 3 years. The process came out of Wyoming, where they've done more than 100 communities.
The Nevada Rural Development Council has been ordered to conduct an assessment of the town of Pahrump. We continue with part 2 of our conversation with Carl Delane. Wow. And the town of Pahrump ordered this assessment for what purpose and what benefit?
Well, the purpose of ordering the benefit was to hear from the people and hear what people had to say, and then hear what recommendations might come out of that. The town, it's being supported both by the county and by the town. They're each sharing in the cost of the assessment.
And how are we paying for this?
It's going to be paid, like I say, from contribution from the county and being matched with a contribution from the town.
And where are we going to be holding most of these workshops?
We haven't identified a specific location, but my guess would be someplace like the county complex where people can come together. And literally, when we sit down with people, we start with the first question, we start with the first person, we ask them to respond. Give us one thing that's a challenge or a problem. We'll go through the whole room and we'll ask everybody in the room that question, give people an opportunity to answer it more than once. If they have more than one answer to give, people can agree with each other, which supports then those views. Then we'll go to the second question and do that. Each session should take about an hour total.
And this will help the town of Pahrump financially if they're looking for any kind of funding.
Yes, all of the funding sources that are out there are going to say, why did you come up with this idea? Why is this project important? And being able to hold up a community assessment and say that this assessment shows us that the people want this project to take place, that can make a big difference.
Wonderful. So you'll keep us updated on when these workshops are going to be held, when we're going to be having open forums for the people to speak out, and the location and all the information.
Yes, that information will be coming out. Again, we'll be here the week of October 10. We'll be here the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And the evening of the 13th, we'll hold a town meeting, again, probably at the county building, to reflect back to the community what we have heard and the themes that have risen to the surface as we've heard these questions being answered.
How long will it take after we've completed the assessment? Will we be actually getting the paper results?
Well, in about 8 weeks, we will deliver a draft copy of the report, and we will come back to the community and hold a second town meeting where we will ask people then to prioritize the themes, what's important to you. And we will also ask people, what are you willing to work on? What are you willing to do to make a difference in your community? And that will give them an opportunity to participate in an action planning process to start to move forward on addressing the themes. In some cases, as we've identified themes, the community has moved forward without waiting for some silly report because they see that that's such a priority in their community.
The first of many informative seminars were held at the Pahrump Nugget for the St. Therese Mission, being built just on the south of town off Highway 160 and the Tacopa turnoff.
This is a landmark, one-of-a-kind development going on in the Pahrump Valley. That's a 17.5-acre church in Columbarium, and we're pretty excited about we breaking ground on May 8th here, and we're here in Pahrump to get to know our neighbors here and let them know a little bit about us as well.
This is an exciting thing to hear about, and what a fantastic thing. Tell me about St. Therese.
St. Therese is a patroness of the Catholic faith, and she has so many followers, but the way she works what you call miracles is she sends, if their prayers are answered, it's through flowers, and she's known for red roses.
There's lots of churches around the world and country. Tell me about a little history of the St. Therese.
Well, St. Therese, her devotees are and the developers of this project is the Dizon family, and she has blessed them with several good fortunes, and this is why they our sister project in the Philippines is the Shrine of St. Therese, and this is why they've constructed the project here in the Pahrump Valley. And we tell all of our followers that if you go to our website, www.sttheresemission.com, you'll see not only the history of our project, but the history of the developer and our vision going forward.
Why did you guys choose the Pahrump Valley?
Well, our sister company, Golden Ridge Corporation, has a number of acres out here, and the land was available to us from Golden Ridge Corporation, so we decided to bring a little bit of prosperity to the desert. And our theme is life blooms in the desert.
Where is this going to be located?
It's going to be located on Tacopa Road. Actually, Tacopa used to be the old Spanish Trail. Now they changed it, so we are there from 160 and then on to Tacopa Road. From that point, it's about 8 miles and inward.
I know that we've already broke ground, but when is the actual construction going to begin? And there is actually employment opportunities in there.
Absolutely. We broke ground on May 8th. We had letters of encouragement from Oscar Goodman, the mayor of Las Vegas at the time, Governor Brian Sandoval. We've gotten our dirt movers in, and we're getting ready to go forward. The completion on our first phase will be about a year.
And we continue our conversation with representatives from the St. Therese Mission at a seminar at the Prump Nugget. The St. Therese Mission is under construction near the California-Nevada border.
For construction, there still is 100 positions that you're going to be having at this facility. Do you want them to be members of your church? Do you require them to be?
Not exactly, because this will be available to all denominations, Christian communities, Catholic communities. And so therefore, as we progress with the building, as we progress on the development, definitely there will be employment. And for sure, you know, we would want them to be part of our community. And, you know, just go there and see for yourself, you know, once it's completed.
This is going to be a wonderful opportunity for lots of people here locally, but it's also going to be a tourist kind of attraction, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Not only are we certified to become Platinum LEED, which is the highest certification that the U.S. Green Building Council can give, but we're also, there are a lot of devotees of St. Therese around the world. And not only will we have pilgrimages to the site, but we'll also have tours to find out how can this be the greenest facility in America. So
that is one thing that we're talking about. You guys are building this green. This is going to be good for our planet.
It is. Everybody's thinking about green, and this is for future generation. We want to give something, a legacy to future generations, and this is something that the company is aspiring for, and that's the highest, and that's the Platinum certification, and it is a hard work, but that's the goal of the company.
This is going to be beautiful. When do we anticipate completion?
It about, you know, barring inclement weather, and you know how it is out here in the desert, okay, we anticipated about a year we'll be completed with phase 1, okay, and then we'll move on from there.
And right now we're having seminars here at the Prump Nugget. What's the purpose? To get people used to what's coming here? And
we have a special funding going on because part of the project here is a columbarium, and we do have the sales of pre-need columbarium niches that will be going on. And again, I allude to our website, which is www.sttheresemission.com, and you can get pretty much all the information regarding our project from that.
A comedy show was held at the Sanders Family Winery over the weekend to benefit our local Kiwanis Club.
Well, it's all to benefit the Kiwanis Club. We're here at the Sanders Family Winery. We're going to let you find out all about Western Comedy Night.
This night's about a comedy fundraiser for the Pahrump youth. We're here raising some money for our dictionaries that we're going to give to Rosemary Clark with the help of the other members who are in the Community Lions Club, VFW, some other people who help that I don't really have on my hand. We're here to hear great comics from LA. Andy Kern's going to be the first one up in just a few minutes.
The male elk during mating season showers himself with his own urine to attract the opposite sex. This is true, okay? I've been trying to do this for the last 6 weeks. I haven't met anybody.
And we're also raising money for our scholarships for the year, which we gave away a few last year, and we hope to give away more next year.
How long have we been doing this? Is this our first one?
This is our first one. We hope to do it more often. We want to do it at least every year, maybe have a couple things in the spring or in the early fall.
This is a nice event, and so much fun to be here at the winery. Tell me why we decided on the comedy theme.
I don't know, something different. We don't have it here. You know, it's really pretty awesome.
It is. People can donate all year long to the Kiwanis, though, can't
Definitely. Of course. Kiwanis is welcome and open to donations. You know, we do a lot of things for the community, and we definitely could use the help.
How can people donate to the Kiwanis Club?
You know what, if you just show up and come say hello to us at our meetings, we meet 6:30 on Thursdays at the Mom's Diner, or you go to our website, you know, you got an email connections there, you can get a hold of us, or you can call me, 513-0466. We're just here to help, you know, whatever you guys want to help us with, that's great, we appreciate it, and we really want to thank everybody who showed out to help us tonight. It's going to be awesome, there's a lot of great people here, and they're going to have a lot of fun.
This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Commissioner Gary Hollis speaks to us about the redistricting of Nye County.
Well, we have a 7-person committee that will be meeting here in the Commissioner's Chambers at 2 o'clock this afternoon. and their task is to look at redistricting as far as commissioner districts.
And so what does this ultimately mean? When we had the census, they found out we have a difference in the population. So will we be having an additional representative, or representatives will be taking on additional citizens?
Well, that is what the redistricting is going to do. They're going to tell us the plan or a plan or two plans of what we should do, and the commissioners will redistrict accordingly. Of course, the clerk has to be involved because of the precincts, and she may add precincts or she may have to split precincts. So all of that has to do with what they come up with in their meetings. Right now you have District 1, which is all of this purple area here. District 2 is all of this here. And District 3, which is the district I represent, is all in here. District 4 is Commissioner Borowski, he's in here. And Dan Shinhofen has this. And of course, Lorinda has one, and Joni has District 2.
And those are up in the northern districts. So
we take the numbers, and we're going to have to make the numbers fit the districts, or a district, or whichever. But that's what they're going to be doing.
The population went up or down?
Up.
Up since the last 10 years. How much? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. There's, you got 43,000 some odd people in the county right now. So you're looking at commissioner districts in 8,000 population figures, or registered voters.
So we don't know at this point if we'll be adding an additional commissioner or not.
Well, you won't be adding an additional commissioner. There won't be 6 commissioners. There'll still be 5 commissioners, but there could be 4 commissioners in Pahrump and 1 outside, or there still could be 3 commissioners in Pahrump and 2 outside of Pahrump. But all commissioners will have some of Pahrump in it. There's no way the numbers will work. But again, that's what this committee is tasked for, is to come up with a plan on making the redistricting, making the commissioner districts viable within 1/5.
So even the northern commissioners will be having some part of Pahrump in their district. Are you getting any of the citizens for or against that?
They've always had. Since 2000, all the commissioners have a piece of Pahrump. See this right here? That's Pahrump, and that's in Commissioner Eastley's district. All of this, most all of this here in Lorinda district, which is 60% of her district, is in Pahrump.
Wow. And so when will we have the final results?
As soon as possible. We're running out of time. So this committee's got a short time to do a big job.
Why do we have a time limit on this? What's the time limit about?
The census. Well, we have to census. We have to get the districts ready for the next election. So we got to be able to show these commissioners, or we're the commissioner district. So if people want to run for office, they know where to run.
Exactly. And it may change your commissioner, and you need to know what that's going to be like. What other election does it affect?
Well, it could affect the school district, but most of your other county officials all run at large.
And if you're a customer of Utility Inc., Commissioner Butch Borowski would like you to attend a meeting and have your voice heard.
Yes, on September 15th, I believe that's a Thursday, at 10 a.m. at the Commissioners' Chambers, the Public Utilities Commission will come out and take complaints from local citizens about UIC and Utilities Inc. I would encourage everybody that can make it, that has a concern, to be there. I would also request you bring something in writing so that you can hand it to the Public Utility Commissioners, so there'll be documentation about what your concerns are. Some people have been overbilled, some people have been double billed, some people have been missed and then billed and charged late charges, and it seems to be a lot of the complaints. The office closing down, they made statements, Utilities Inc. made statements to the Public Utility Commission that there wasn't any foot traffic coming in, so I believe there was a lot. People that were going into the office and paying their bills, step up and be counted. Let them know you'd like to have the office open again, and let's make this a community effort to try to get UICN to be a little more accommodating to our people.
And so any kind of evidence, paperwork, even letters just to organize your thoughts and give it to them is the best way to go about this.
Yes, and if you can't be at the meeting, email it to me at butchboraski@yahoo, BUTCHBORASKY @yahoo.com, or send a letter over to 2100 Walt Williams Drive, 89048, the Commissioner's Chambers, and I'll get it over there and I'll turn it in for you.
We got more than enough time to get this going. What time is the meeting and where once again?
It'll be 10 a.m. It'll be on a Thursday, September 15th.
Thank you so much.
It'll be at the Commissioner's Chambers.
Well, that's it for News 46's Week in Review. Everyone here at KPVM wishes all of you a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and I want to wish my friend a very special happy birthday, Vic Rattledge. We'll see you again here next week. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Night.